Hindraf Makkal Sakhti's chief, P. Uthayakumar, today launched his election banner urging supporters to send him as the first Hindraf MP for the parliamentary seat of Kota Raja. He is also contesting the Sri Andalas Selangor State seat. Speaking to supporters, Uthayakumar outlined the 56 years of abuse and neglect suffered by the Indian community at the hands of the Barisan National government.
See, the first issue which I have in mind, which I believe both Barisan National and Pakatan would not like it, but that's why they want to nip me in the bud, both parties, from both sides of the political spectrum, is one of the first things I would like to do, assuming I win as an MP, is I would like to move a motion in Parliament on the ending of, on number one on Malaysia rectifying the United Nations Convention on the elimination of all forms of racial discrimination. I think that is step number one, rule number one. I think racism in this country, especially targeting the Indian poor, has gone to alarming rates, and nobody wants to talk about it. Okay, so it goes on with impunity. So that will be the first step to end racism, institutionalized racism. See, in the Western countries, the racism is between people and people, not the government. Okay, whereas in Malaysia, it's the government and the people, both Pakatan and Barisan National. The second point I would like to do as an MP is to move a motion, emergency motion in Parliament, to end all forms of government policies, and all government policies, government racist policies, victimizing in particular the Indian poor, right? You see, from womb to tomb, you are born, they deny you. It's not that you don't have birth certificate, they deny you your birth certificate, your innate right. That means you're born with that right. Even a birth certificate, we have to go on our knees and beg Najib, And then, for example, we have suggested, as soon as I came out of Kemunting, I did my research, I had time for research. We wrote to Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, YB Lim Kit Siang, YB Dato' Sri Hadiawan. We say we can have in these three states, Pakatan states, Kedah, Penang and Selangor, we can have a special secretariat for addressing the IC and BC and citizenship issues involving the Indians. Our estimate is 440,000. We propose that the Pakatan State governments, for example, set up a secretary in the SUK building itself. Okay, so when we have, let's say, a Malay gentleman from the SUK or Selangor picking up the phone and speaking to a Malay authority, a gentleman in authority in Putrajaya, look, tengok ini Mutusami lah, kenapa you tak bagi dia IC? Takkan you nak nyaya dia macam ni? You want to say dia Kelantan tak boleh lah, lagu ni tak boleh nyayo lah, India ni nyayo tak boleh lah, see dia. You say that to another authority in Putrajaya, I think things would have worked. And then I even proposed a system where there is a pengarah, a deputy pengarah, and then managers, 10 managers, supervisors, and about 100 staff support. Okay, so if Pakatan was serious in addressing the issue of ICBC and citizenship, by now I think in Selangor half the problem would be solved in 5 years. But now they're back to square one. Just 2 months ago, they get all the old ladies to go in front of Parliament, show them the right IC. They're back at square one. Within 100 days, they'll solve the IC problem. Very good. But what did they do in these 5 years?
Do you think Pakatan will retain Selangor?
Generally, you see, the Indians now, I look at it this way, I'm talking from the point of view of Indians. I think as I explained the other day about, you see, my assessment was in 2008, they got about 90% of the Indian votes, okay? Not so much because they loved Pakatan, because they hated Barisan National. It's not because they loved Pakatan, the answer is no. Now about 40% have either moved to Barisan or in a state of limbo. See, Pakatan is not making it easier. They're not making it easier. They're only wayang kulit. The same wayang kulit using their Indian mandos. They're just paying lip service. Okay. So about 40% are either undecided, they're confused, or they've moved to Barisan. So now we are at the 50-50 level. So my answer would be, until about 3-4 months ago, I've been saying no. The Indians basically 60-70% were with Pakatan. And then I think the Prim kind of tilted the scales towards Barisan. And for the Indian poor, that 500 means a lot. And then promise of another 1,000 when they win, when Barisan wins elections, it means a lot to them. Their mind they seem to be clouded. So I think with that, and then coupled with Pakatan's non-delivery, I think as it stands, it looks 50-50.
In the 2008 general election, past Siti Mariah Mahmud polled 38,600 votes to trounce MIC's Vigneswaran by whopping 27,771 votes.